Let's talk about the one TV show that nobody else is talking about, but you should be watching. This is The Studio on Apple TV Plus. Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for The Studio, the whole season. We have a review for the first episode. This is a very interesting show that I don't think enough people are talking about. I feel like this show kind of has gone under the radar because not a lot of people have Apple TV Plus, but I wanted to make sure that people are aware this is a really, really good show. It's a comedy slash drama that follows a legacy Hollywood studio striving to survive in a world where it is increasingly difficult for art and business to live together. The show was created by Evan Goldberg, Alex Gregory, and Peter Hook, and of course stars Seth Rogen, Catherine O'Hara, Ike Barinholtz. Just a great cast. And this show makes itself stand out by a few things. Obviously, this is a satire of the studio system. And if you're somebody that loves movies and follows movies very closely, like I do, I think you'll find these very interesting and very entertaining as we kind of see these characters that are very charismatic, but also are kind of like terrible people because of all the stuff they're doing. There's a lot of manipulation and backstabbing because that feels like the way the studio system is working, whether it's like agents or the producers or the people at the studio. There's a lot of really fun cameos because a lot of people portray themselves, or at least heightened versions of themselves in this. And every episode you get something that's really cool as far as like a cameo and people showing up to do little guest star roles. But there is a whole thread, of course, throughout the whole season. I will say, I think the main crux of this movie is that this studio, after Seth Rogen kind of takes over and is made, the head of the studio, they are tasked with producing the Kool-Aid movie because that is, the studios are trying to find their own franchises, and that's kind of the commitment that they have. So you get to see this kind of storyline overarching the whole thing, but there's other things happening as well. There's some relationships with these people and how their roles have shifted. I think Seth Rogen plays this guy who loves movies, but is also maybe not as competent to be running a studio, or maybe he doesn't have what it takes to run a studio, and he's not as ruthless as he should be, and so it's trying to navigate all that. Like I said, he's rather likable and charismatic, but every time you see him make decisions or do some things like what are you doing, my guy, so and I think a lot of the characters are like that. I think Catherine O'Hara is just so good in this, and then Catherine Hahn, who is like the head of marketing of the studio, she really shines in every scene that she's in. It's fantastic. She goes over the top and I love it. Um, it's really fun to see all these characters kind of interact and try to play along with each other, because they all want to make a movie and they all want to make a lot of money. That's the main thing, and of course they don't want to lose their jobs because it feels like a very competitive slash very insecure career field. So yeah, it's really interesting. I really loved it. One of the other things that really attracted me to this is the visual aesthetic of this. The show uses a lot of very interesting shooting techniques, including these long extended shots where the camera doesn't cut. A matter of fact, season one, episode two, the oneer, which refers to a full one take. The whole thing is done in one take. Like I'm sure there were cuts, but it's shot to emulate a one take from beginning to end. These episodes are about 30 minutes long. So, like, can you imagine planning for that? Um, and then, of course, that's also meta commentary on like directors using the Warner and maybe how it's a little bit overexposed and just trying to distinguish between like authentic artistic use of shots like that versus just trying to put those in your food and your project as some kind of prestige thing, right? It's very interesting, and like I said, you get to see a lot of I you get to see a lot of directors kind of starring, like I said, as versions of themselves or heightened versions of themselves. It's pretty interesting. I really enjoy the show because I love movies and I love going into this world, or this pretend world to where we are trying to make these movies happen. Um, There's going to be a second season of this, so make sure to catch up. If you take a month of Apple TV Plus, just make sure to check this out. It's only 10 episodes. They're about 20 to 30 minutes each, depending on the episode. But they are definitely a lot of fun. So if you have checked out the studio on Apple TV Plus, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. And of course, stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff in the channel. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye bye.